Okay, welcome back for another episode of Monster Train here. As we head once more into the fray. Last time went pretty well. Let's hope we can repeat our success. As usual, going random. Still not going for the challenges for the moment. Maybe we'll do that at a later date. So let's see what we get. We have our Melting Remnant Umbra with some stealth tombs. I do like these guys quite a lot. If you can give them endless or um, reform them or something, they can be quite strong. Primal Dust, fine card, and Crushing the Mice is very interesting. If you can have an empty floor, obviously it's a powerful card where it just kills the thing, but not super usable otherwise. And our boss, I've been meaning to check this more near the end, or near the beginning of the round, excuse me, is cleansing effects, so perhaps the stealth strategy not optimal there. These damage shields also might not be so good in the final fight, so we might have to find a different way to get through the final boss. And of course we have our starter cards, those would be our dregs and our plinks. The plinks, quite horrible. They fall off very quickly. They can be useful in the first fight or two, killing 1 health units, but beyond that they're very bad, and dregs, you know, they get in the way. They can provide some triggers for harvest units, that sort of thing. So nothing to extend burnout duration, so we're probably not looking to make our champion have burnout. But let's see what kind of artifact we have first. Okay, so our options are the Volatile Gauge, obviously excellent source of draw, but randomizing the cost of your deck. A little bit rough, especially when you have zero cost dregs that are now getting more expensive. It does help get you through the bad parts of your deck, which is nice, but I think starting with it is a little too dangerous, and we didn't really get anything that synergizes too greatly. Whereas the Mold Bracers will help us get a little bit of extra armor on our units, so not the most tremendous artifact, but a decent one to start. And as I said, as much as I enjoy having the big champion that can solo some early fights, having no way to extend the burnout or reform him, I don't think it's really a viable strategy here. So we'll have to go with the reform and try to make our dregs get some work done here. Units on each floor, this is where Plink could shine. Could be a little bit dangerous still, but I don't think it should take a tremendous amount of damage, so I'll give it a go. Hopefully we draw some Plinks early. If not, then I guess the pyre will be in a little bit of trouble. Alright, we got one, that's not bad. Let's see here. We would like this guy to start reforming as soon as possible. I am going to Plink the top floor just because those guys will do more damage since their rage won't decay as much. Our bottom floor, unfortunately, a little bit smaller. Can't really play in the middle because we'll just get absolutely massacred. We could play the top. That would help us clear some of these guys in the next round. But it won't give us the resolve trigger this round because our champion will be stunned, of course. But it does give us some extra time to prepare while these guys advance on their journey, so I think I am going to set up here. Toss a drag in the way, and make our champion eat some morsels. And I'll place Steward down here for some small amount of damage. Of course, our relic already giving us a bit of armor could help us to survive. That's a bit of a bummer. We're gonna miss out on that. Didn't draw a hand that can do anything there. Here we're unfortunately still only killing one. The lifesteal means we don't really have to worry about blocking, though if we play another creature in front that dies, then we would get to reform it, which is interesting. So I'm a little bit tempted to throw a drag or a molten casement up there. I could throw this thing down here to protect our train steward, but because the heals is not really accomplishing much anyway, I can just give it a shield if I really want to. So I think what I'll do is, yeah, play the molten encasement up here with these. And then we can even just play another steward in front of here, which will let us deal a little bit of damage. I'm not really holding my breath for getting back around to this. I'll just apply it to my champion for the boss fight or something. So as expected, we're leaking a couple, a little bit of pyre damage, but it shouldn't be too bad overall here. And the crushing demise is looking good here. We can go ahead and fire that off. Hopefully kill the big minion. If we kill one of the smaller ones, that's still okay. Alright, extremely lucky there. It would be nice to get this down lower, but we can't do that, so unfortunately he's going to get 2 hits in. Let's see, I think I like maybe giving these... Oh, never mind, there's no room down here, so I can't do that. So we'll just throw this up here, I suppose. Give our champion a little bit more stealth. I just need to throw something down here to kill this guy. This Burnout 3 isn't gonna last a whole lot. Let's see, at this point... yeah, one of these will still manage to die. Just working out the timing for when the boss will show up and how quickly these die here. This one will go on the 2nd floor, and one's in the front to block. And we'll just give our champion some more shields. Alright, we can do a blink here, get rid of the healer maybe, that's helpful. This is Burnout 2 now. It's also 2011, which is not nothing. This guy's unfortunately gonna die soon. Throw another one back here for a little bit of damage. I think this just goes all the way to the top. Maybe stick a train steward all the way back here. Fire a rubber log morsel and might as well fire that off for a little bit of damage. Lots of stuff dying here. Trying to reform and get value. Get another 19 attack in here, and the boss is dead. That's fantastic news. Alright, so we've managed to get through the first one. 10 damage, not the worst. The trial went okay. We could have gotten a little luckier with the draws, but 10 damage is a price I'm willing to pay here for 75 gold. Alright, we have another tomb unit. It's pretty decent, 50 damage. Could do something potentially. Again, we don't want to rely on these stealth guys too much. I mean, we kind of have to just because they're in our deck for now. But the final boss will make that difficult. Hollow Drippings, I'm not a huge fan of right now. We have to reform champions, so we're kind of looking for our stuff to burn out and die. It can be useful for the final boss wave. Once you set up your reformed floor to hit them with this, they can last a little bit longer, but it's a little tricky to set up without giving this perma freeze, and it's just not going to happen for a little while, I don't think. Driftful is just a good generic spell. It buys you some time, get you a daze. So that's probably what I'm going with here. Yeah, I think that seems reasonable to me. And then we have more space, some morsels, or a mine collapse. We are very bad at making morsels right now, with the planks being the only source. And it looks like we're likely to go to an Umbra banner, so I will pick that up. Merchant has to offer. We got Damage Shield, Battle Stone, and Speed Stone. Okay, the Shadow Eater makes its return. Still not very excited about this one. Again, it's just sort of an odd sweep unit. And we don't even have a way to consistently feed it morsels, so that makes it pretty bad in my book. The Morsel Maker solves our morsel problems for any future Gorgers we get, so I kind of like that. We'll have to hope we can find a better Gorger than Shadow Eater for him to sit behind, but we'll definitely pick him up. Not the strongest upgrades for a Morsel Maker. Usually look to keep this one in the back. So giving a damage shield or extra health doesn't accomplish a whole heck of a lot. Similarly with Quick, I might reroll here and look to give it some damage. Okay. So we can go cheap with just plus 10 damage, or try to give it multi-strike and give it a damage upgrade later. Obviously the 10 damage is just better right now than multi-strike. It doesn't look like we have any ways to buff it outside of it eating its own morsels, which is not typically what you want to be doing. So I think we'll just go for the cheap upgrade, conserve our gold a bit. Make it a somewhat respectable 15-15 right now. That's an okay stat line. And we'll just save our gold. Probably go this way, try to find a Gorger, and then hit another Steel Merchant at some point to improve these guys further. Yeah. So I think we're happy to move on here. And we have our Sweep Boss and a unit draft award for 10 armor. Well, the planks won't do anything, but that doesn't matter too much. So we're going to be struggling a little bit for damage. These guys need to die and reform before they're really respectable. We have the Crushing Demise to maybe kill something. I'm going to give it a shot. This might, again, be one that deals us a little bit of damage, but I think we can. Mostly the enemies that are here just don't hit that hard, so even if they get to the top, they shouldn't do very much. Let's see. So awkwardly, we actually wouldn't mind our Rector or the Morsel Maker eating some morsels here, but of course that means we can't play a Molten Encasement in front of them. Excuse me. One moment here. I'm starting to lose my voice there, so address that issue. And yeah, so ideally we don't want to take up the space with the morsels that could be taken up with a unit, so I'd like to place all three of these in one level. And I guess we'll just make it the bottom, because I do want to get started on the morsels right away, rather than waiting. Doesn't mean we get to play either of these two cards, that's probably okay. And then we just have to decide who goes in the front. I suppose the Train Sword still makes sense. We don't want him in the front because then the morsels will go in the very front and take hits, which we don't want. We want to eat them. We could put a Rector in the front. He's got a little bit more health than a Steward, but he's also a little bit more valuable just in case an enemy shows up that I'm not expecting. So we'll put these guys back and just play a Train Steward to the front. We're doing 35 damage here, which isn't so bad. Now if we have anything die up on these floors, it makes the Rector have the chance to bring them back right away, which is nice. And in that vein, I might just try to get this to die, but it may also be better to deal 14 damage here. I don't believe we have any direct damage. So this thing is going to get through basically no matter what here. So given that, I think I actually like letting this die so I can respawn it. And then just playing a Train Steward at the top with a whole lot of morsels. Unfortunately, it's going to get away because we didn't get a chance to play anything at the top. But there wasn't a whole lot we could have done about that, and these shields aren't going to be super good no matter where I put them. I might actually put them on the champ here. It might look strange to put shields on the second unit, but that means when the boss comes along, he'll kill our train steward, and then have to run at the shields, whereas if I play them on the front, they'll just get eaten up by these small attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then look to reform our drag there. Alright, so small chance Blink does something relevant here. Let's look for the best. Oh, fantastic news. It's taking 11 as expected, not going to change the math unfortunately. But perhaps we can do some decent damage to that unit. So let's try to just max that out by playing these further in the back, and then of course playing the lifesteal morsel and also purge these. Looks like it still won't be quite enough to kill it. But the first floor is likely to kill the boss, which I forget is the sweet guy. So we're not actually killing him, that's bad. He is for 6, so you're gonna get 10 armor from these guys dying, and then you get 1 hit in. We could be in some trouble here. I had forgotten it was a sweet boss, so that's a little bit too bad. You don't really accomplish much, but there's no reason not to play you, I guess. And these blinks really don't do anything, but it's not like we're gonna circle back around to draw these anyway, so I might as well do some minor amount of damage here. The relic buying us a few extra hits here, pretty handy. Alright, well that's a pretty bad draw. This guy's gonna burn out. Maybe I can get a hit here, I'm not actually sure. Nope, it looks like the armor didn't quite help. And here we're dealing 5 damage, so he's gonna get 2 hits in. Does this get me extra damage? Certainly more than that, so I think we might as well try it. 15 unfortunately changes a whole heck of a lot. Guess I'll still survive 1 hit from the pyre here. So, we're on low pyre health again, but last time we managed to pull out a victory out of it, and I think we can do okay here as well. We do just need to find a Gorger for this morsel maker to sit behind, and we'll be in pretty good shape, I think. So hoping for a big hit out of the next unit flag. In the meantime, we have another stealth guy, again because it's the final boss. I'm not too interested in these. Purifying Cleanse, we don't have any units with Burnout, we care about healing at the moment. We could use it to extend Burnout somewhere, but it's pretty minor. And our champion already does reforming reasonably well, so we don't need a card to do it for us. And here we have the Space Prism I usually like. Even if it ends up not being great in the deck, it consumes, and a lot of times the 1 extra space is something you can use. This is okay, but I don't think it's where we want to be. With a bunch of drags in the deck, we're not really running into energy problems right now. And Immortal Trade sort of is just hard to use before the final phase is the fight, so I have a hard time with that one. So I think this is going to be the Space Prism. Yeah, pick that up. Shadow Eater continues to haunt us. Paraffin Enforcer can be very good, but I don't think we currently have the setup for it. We're looking for our burnout units to die and reform, so the rage is going to fall off. This is good with like, I forget the name, the unit that increases burnout whenever they get hit. You can set that up with a backline, and this guy gives them all rage. It's great, but we don't have that right now. The Wickless Tycoon could be interesting. Just in the early parts of the game for us, we can throw some crap in front of it. He makes us money. Everything's great. And Shadow Eater, I've talked about. I don't really like it that much. With the consistent morsels from the Morsel Maker, it's a little bit better, but I'd still rather look for a unit that can maybe accomplish a little bit more, though. The two best units, the Lifesteal and the Shield one, will both get quite hampered by the boss. Though usually the Lifesteal one is strong enough anyway that you can get through the boss typically. That buff is just so strong. But it could maybe see a Shadow Eater working. But we just don't have a whole lot else going on. I'm going to take the Wickless Tycoon. Obviously not a good unit late in the game, but making you money in the meantime can be pretty helpful. Okay. These are both interesting. This giving us even more morsels means between that and Morsel Maker, we're in really, really good shape for morsels. So I don't then feel the need to take any more morsel cards. This becomes a little bit redundant, but that's okay. Flicker's Liquor can just make all your energy problems go away, especially since a lot of our minions cost 0 to begin with. And then when they get reformed, they come back costing 0 again. So we could take that and look to take expensive cards, and just assume they'll get reduced. That said, again, we don't have any expensive cards yet, so I'm gonna go for this and just call our morsel situation done, and yeah, pick up the Crucible Collector. Basically this with some morsels behind it will solo most bosses, so very happy to see that one. And let's see what our caveman has for us. The copy event. Is there anything I would like to copy multiple times? Is there anything I'd like to copy once? 5 copies of Space Prism is interesting. It lets you make a really gigantic floor if you'd like. Let's see. 5 copies of Crushing Demise is actually kind of an interesting idea. You're guaranteed to, well, you're not guaranteed, but you're pretty likely to like draw on a turn, sometimes more than one, and that can be fun. That could be sort of like build your own Inferno just to like kill a floor. But of course, there's often support units that doesn't work that well against, so it's an intriguing idea. Dripfall, another kind of interesting one. Let's see, anything else I would want to copy a lot? I don't think any of our units are worth copying. We don't want multiple Tycoons. We could get another Morsel Maker. If you can stick multiples behind the Crucible Collector, that can end up being quite strong, just feeding it 4 morsels every turn. Really has you set up for basically ever. But it can be hard to get that going just because if you don't get them kind of all at the same time, the space fills up with morsels and you can't play it anymore. So plus they cost 2, which isn't so great. Boy. Yeah, had I improved this guy with some stronger buffs, maybe I'd be more interested in that plan, but as is, it's just not that good. I will probably look to copy something once. Our deck is so full of bad cards that anything that isn't like a Train Steward or a Plink will improve our deck quality. I'm just deciding. Crushing Demise is interesting. Drip Ball is interesting. Packed Morsels, as I said, has sort of become obsolete already, so less interest in copying that one. And the Primal Dusts, they're fine, but I don't think I want a third one all that much. So, I think I'll go for a single copy on Crushing Demise. For now, we don't have 3 floors yet, so it can definitely do some things. If it ends up being dead card later, well, that'll be bad, I guess. Okay. So we're off to our first boss. And it is Pushback Talos. As always, hate this fight. Especially when trying to set something up with a Gorger type unit. But maybe we can draw our Space Prism, extend this floor and put something in front. For now, we will be looking to get this morsel with it. And we do usually like setting this on the top floor, I think. So we'll go for that. Let's see, the Tycoon wants to go at the bottom and have stuff die in front of him. So I think what we'll do here is maybe have the Rector go in the middle and have a Molten Casement or 2 in front of him. That seems fine. And then we can get started on reforming these. It's a little bit awkward to play 2 here, since one will buff the other, but they'll die eventually, so it's fine. Now we get one right away, which is great. Alright, we did get our Morsel Maker, which we want to get going right away here. Yep, that's definitely an important step. Playing Crushing Demise is really good. I guess everything else we want to play costs 0, so I might as well get that done. From the Archer, fine. Now I do have an interesting... I could put a Dreg here in the front, in case Talos swings up there, since this guy isn't generating morsels quite yet. So I actually will do that. Doesn't mean I can't eat the morsel here on that, but that's okay. Get the Lucas Tycoon down here with the encasement. And then this isn't accomplishing a whole lot for us. Might actually look to just play it here to die in order to make us money. So I think I'm happy to toss that in the very front. First, playing that for 0. I suppose the only problem with that is it is now in the reform pool, but it's not the end of the world. Our gamble sort of paid off here. These guys have come over, and we can fit another Dreg here so that it can absorb boss hit. So we will be doing that. Alright, and we can't fit a morsel now, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. I said 2. Oh, I was gonna get armor from that. Should have played these the other way, maybe. It's okay though. These links really don't do anything, so it looks like we're just gonna go ahead and eat a morsel here. And call that a turn. Our pyre getting in some trouble. Not gonna lie about that. Is this guy dying? Okay, they're dying, so we're still alive. It's good. Although it is looking like these might not die at the moment, so we're gonna want to get some DPS in here in the form of this dreg. This guy's gonna burn out soon too, so this is getting to be a pretty scary situation. There's just not that much we can do about it. Yeah, and I think we're possibly dead. Let's see. This will hit that and kill it, and then this will get hit for 15 and kill our pyre, I believe. So I think we're dead here. Pretty sad, but it's just not that much I can do at the moment. Sure, we'll give you some shields. Oh, perhaps Dripfall can save us. It's going to be tough since these guys are still coming in for quite a bit here. But it's not impossible. So if we Dripfall this one obviously dies, but this one gets us into some trouble. If we get this one down, this one's at 50 and it is taking... these guys actually aren't dazed, which is interesting. So anyway, 19 and 24 is what, 43, so it'll survive and hit the pyre once. So then, what are our prospects for next turn? Obviously we're going to be playing one of these here, looking to deal as much damage as possible to this back unit. I think we're probably still dead, but I've apparently been wrong before, so let's see if we can do something here. So let's not play on the wrong floor. So on the 19 to go here, then a hit for 20 there. So this puts this guy at 15. He'll die to this. You will unfortunately, yeah, so we're still in trouble. And we're not drawing really much to get us out of it. Unfortunately, the Space Prism was quite late here. That might have done something. For now, this is the only play that does anything, so we kind of have to go do it. This might as well get played at the bottom. I guess we kind of need to do damage, so actually gonna put something in the front of it. Train Steward seems fine. And then there's no room for this morsel. This guy hasn't can't really care. These blinks matter at all, so I'm trying to figure out. They won't change anything here. She's at 50, so these won't deal 7 damage. Here, this increases attack, but it doesn't matter. This isn't dying, this isn't dying, so I guess there's some small chance this does something. We did get Dripfall again. Oh, and this floor is actually dying. How's this happening? Well, I guess the Plings did do something. Holy crap. Okay, we might actually make it here. That's insane. So this floor's fine. I don't need to worry about it. This looks okay to me as well. So now it's just a matter of dealing with the boss. So we'll just play a couple of drags, I guess. Yeah, that looks fine to me. Play as many of these guys as we can. Get 160 damage on the boss, cool. And then still don't care about these guys in can because we'll just heal it all back. So I'm happy to throw one of these in so we can play another morsel. And then don't have room for this drag. Might as well stun the boss. There's a little bit extra. And fire off the flank. Alright. Looks like we might be okay by the skin of our teeth here. Pretty insane. I nearly just clicked abandon run there, but we might survive at 1 HP. Alright. We got another one of these. Toss it out and play our stealth givers here. Which are, have become quite the fighters in their time in the netherworld here. And of course, giving more stealth to our champ, but none of it should matter as this easily cleans things up. And we somehow made it past this boss. Alright. I'm shocked that worked, but not complaining. Alright, Bounty Stalker is very cool here. With a reformed champion, we can bring him back over and over and make him an insane DPS unit for the later fights. So that'll be good. Yeah. Trample, potentially useful. Sometimes Crucible Collector will get pretty mean, and giving a trample can do stuff, but not that big a deal. And the Wretch I'm not too interested in. We have our Morsel generation covered, so pretty easy Bounty Stalker there. Let's see, we could go for more money with the Paraffin Thug. It's an alright unit, it's on its own. But not incredible. Alloy Construct, we have our Gorger covered, so I'm happy to skip out on this guy, though he could have been good. And I don't know, maybe it's still worth picking him up because it doesn't rely on lifesteal. We can just kind of buff him up and beat him 3 morsels a turn pretty easily. But he does require some good upgrades to actually be a solid tank, so I'm either going to pick up the Thug here or skip, since this again we don't have great synergy with. How interested are we in the Thug? It's a 2-tile unit, so it would look to maybe sit on a floor with the Wickless Tycoon and have just like a guy in front of it. I mean, it works, it's not great. It could also sit with our Rector, I suppose. These Crushing Demises actually look very silly now. I'm kicking myself for duplicating these as our floors are getting quite full, and these aren't going to be very useful. But it is what it is. So yeah, I could see a middle floor where we have Rector plus the Bounty Man, or excuse me, the Paraffin Thug, with just something chilling out in the front, and then on the bottom we're looking to make a lot of cash with Harvest Tycoon. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Don't think we need space unless we want to set up some sort of huge floor. But it doesn't look like where we're going. And again, our units are fairly cheap for the most part, so we'll go with draw here. And the much needed 31 pyre health. Okay, so we can pick up another Remnant unit and remove some stuff. Or we can get some pyre health, duplicate, and get coins. What would we look to duplicate? It's not Crushing Demise, I'll tell you that. We could duplicate the Bounty Stalker. It's a powerful unit. Um, and having two of them kind of ticking away isn't bad. Or we can just look for another unit. I don't know what other unit we could take here. Maybe a Morsel Master to pair with the Morsel Maker could work. It's a little easier to fit that in. Let's see. We could grab the other Harvest Tycoon, the one that actually gets stats. That could be kind of interesting. Since again, this guy not great for actual fighting prowess. Yeah, it's still unclear to me exactly how we solve our fights, because this guy's gonna grow to be a great DPSer. And this is pretty decent against bosses on its own. Like, I don't know how we're clearing heavy health minions exactly. I guess this guy's just like hitting them every other turn or whatever, but it's pretty weird. And the magic merchant, we would look to, I don't even know what, honestly. So I'll try this direction. We can use the extra pyre health. Okay, so we consider our champion as a harvester, which is kind of cool. That makes him pretty tanky, actually, which is a big deal. Because then in later phases of the fights, we can stick our bounty stalker behind him and do some damage to our boss. Versus this, reform our units with an additional 10 strength. Don't think that's quite as good, so I'm gonna try for the harvest here. Hope that he can just sort of kill some stuff, put some things in front of him. Perhaps we have him on the same floor as the Tycoon even, and look to just have some drags or encasements or whatever die in front of them. Yep. And then I am still going to duplicate the bounty stalker. Obviously better to duplicate it once it's gotten a bunch of buffs, but we are where we are. Multi-strike this early? Oh boy. Multi-strike. It's pretty terrifying. I have no way to hit backline units, so I don't think I can take this. You really could have used just an Entumbra Assault or something, anything to like hit a unit in the back. Because these guys are just going to sit there and absolutely wreck us, unfortunately. But that said, we'll get our Crucible Collector set up. And since this ended up being a 4, I don't want to set up my champion down there, so we'll put him up here. We'll put the Bounty Stalker down below. Start having it die, basically. And the Train Steward is not really contributing. I don't even think I want to pollute the death pool with him, so we'll just pass here. Alright, we drew our second Bounty Stalker. Very interesting. Let's see. So we're already in a little bit of trouble as this guy is just tanking so many hits and there's no way we can kill the one in the back. Much as expected. Happy to give my guy stealth. Just play a second Bounty Stalker. Get those guys started on respawning. I might as well break this open this turn. Stack, I think, just a bunch of attack on the top floor. And our champion can get some lifesteal. Again, the stewards are just in the way at this point, unfortunately. Yeah, so we're looking at already taking heavy damage. A fan, but little I can do about it. At least we got some pyre health along the way. And now we'll get our Tycoon going, along with replaying the encasement. And obviously getting some improvements in our units will go a long way. Alright, now we just have infinite cards in our hand here. Alright, once again we're leaking some stuff, and even more coming in. It's very bad. What I might look to do is drop this guy and then fire off my 2 crushing demises. We don't care about him dying so much, so I think that'll work reasonably well. And just makes this middle wave not threatening at all, which is great. That was great. A little less good on that second one, but still happy with that result. Paraffin Thug not doing much, but it's okay. I will put an extra morsel up here, that seems good. Get this guy in front of them again, and of course keep getting our bounty stalker going. And Dreg isn't doing a whole lot. I guess I'll pop it up here. Can contribute a little bit of damage until it dies. Yeah, and that pyre health that we got is already gone. Not a good sign. It feels like our damage is just too low. We need to improve our creatures as soon as possible. Expand this floor. Then this guy killed. Can't do a whole lot else here. Just debating if it's worth playing any of these. What's in our consume pile? So we're getting this guy back along with this guy next turn. So I guess I'll play the encasement down here in front of them. Just for a future turn, and then I can eat a morsel, why not? But we'll skip out on the dregs here. Again, we'll be looking to play these guys behind our Stealth Giver. Do a little bit of damage to the tank. We should be reforming these two, which is nice. Can't unfortunately fit the Bounty Stalker anywhere at this point, but it's alright. It'd be nice for him to die, so there we go. Saves us a little bit of damage. Let's see, what are we getting? We're getting our Molten Encasement back, so we don't want to fill the slot in front of us, because that'll be helpful. So we'll just go ahead and apply some shields. Out there, 150. Would really like to see more. Let's see. Yeah, burnout 2. Stunning something for one turn really doesn't do a lot for us. Might drop one of these morsels. It's hard. This guy hitting 28 to 31. Okay, so he does just barely survive them. That's good. Just double check my math here. 13 plus 9 is 22, plus 9 is 31. He's at 32. Great. So I think just to stack this guy more and to get one big hit in the following turn, what I'm going to do is drip one of the morsels down. I think it is going to be the health one, since we're just looking to lifesteal our way through this fight. Yeah, so drop that one, and that should give us enough room for this guy to stick around, get his attack in a whole once, and then I'm happy to just throw more shields on our champion. Doesn't buy us a lot, but something. And hopefully this kills, and it does, so just turn here. Bounty Stalker dies and gets the raid attack. And we're in a little bit of trouble, considering that wasn't even with a trial, but oh well. This could be interesting as another thing to stick in front, but I think we have enough just random crap to throw in front of our units with the Rector reforming them, so I'm not worried about it. This again, just redundant for their champion. Mortal Entrapment I do actually like, but it is difficult to afford. I might still take it though. Yeah, we have some turns where we don't really cast any spells that cost anything. Ember Forge would be cool, but we don't have any room for it, so it doesn't work. Don't care about this, and this is a little too expensive for what it does. So. We have so much money. Okay, there is a Merchant of Steel and it heals us. That's great news. So we'll certainly be going this way. Just pause for a moment. Okay, let's see what this store has for us. And this as well. Large damage, shield, and health. Okay. We can maybe make a large Crucible Collector. Seems okay. It'll always fit with the Morsel Maker, even on 4th floor. I don't know. Damage, shield, and health. Not probably the best, but. Let's see what's here. Okay, drop cage and reduce merchant costs. I mean, drop cage makes drip fall ridiculous. Guild marker when we have 500 gold is effectively a lot of extra gold. So I don't hate it, but I feel like we have enough money. We need our cards to actually start doing something. So I'm gonna take drop cage. Here we are gonna large up the Crucible Collector. Then I don't know if any of this helps me very much. Health and damage shield. No, I don't think those do anything, unfortunately. Okay, multi-strike does. Multi-strike on a Bounty Stalker is very good. Yep. I don't think it matters which ones, since they're currently the same. +5, +5 in Burnout is interesting on a Bounty Stalker. But I don't actually think we want them to have Burnout, because later on in the run we want them to just sit behind as DPS. So we kind of whiffed really hard here. I'll go ahead and give this even more health, that's fine. And then we'll probably do a couple purges just because we need something to make our deck a little bit better. But we're likely looking to go hit another store, just because that was so bad. But getting rid of these train stewards, we can't play them, we don't have room, and we keep drawing them in our hand, it's very bad. So, it's not going splendidly right now. Once again, it's going to be difficult to take the trial with absolutely zero ways to hit enemies in the back. So we're going to have to keep it off again. Hope that maybe our tycoon and whatnot come through for us here. Alright, well I do need to get this out there. It's not going to generate morsels on the first turn, and if we don't draw the Crucible Collector, the following turn is an absolute disaster. So that'll be a fun thing to find out, but I don't think I have a lot of options, so I have to play this. These guys are just 2s for the time being. Again, we want to get our Bounty Stalker rocking here, so... let's see, do I want to play you on the bottom maybe? No, I don't think so. I think we'll still play you up here. Look to put a drag in front of you, and then a Bounty Stalker down there. And sure, you can have this morsel. Alright, well, we did draw the Crucible Collector, which is good news. The bad news is we're not killing very many of these. So this floor will kill 2, so I guess we're fine here. We can actually plink here as well, and we might as well do it. There's not anything else we need to do, and there's a chance we can maybe get to the Collector, I was going to say, but of course if we hit it twice, that's just the worst world to live in. This guy we want to die, so we're okay with that, and this might as well die as well. I do think we let this die first. Give us an additional trigger there, and I guess it was burnout anyway, it doesn't matter much. No room up there, no reason to play down here, so we'll skip out on packed morsels. And those. At least our champion's getting pretty strong here, which is good. Okay, you guys are dying, that's good. You are gonna be a disaster for me. I don't even know if I want to do this, but it's an option. I almost certainly want to play this up here. And I do think I actually want to kill as many of these as possible. Which is not going to be that many. Well, the plink can do something. So the plink I could do on either floor. If I can do it here, and then let's see, let's say it kills 2, I killed another one. Basically, I'd like this to hit this guy. I think it's possible to set that up, so we're gonna do the best here. Okay, we did get somewhat lucky. So we'll play our burnout creature, and then some dregs to do some damage there. Then I have to figure out what I want to do at the bottom. Probably want the harder hitting drag down there. We don't need hard hits here. So we'll just stick to 2 weaker drags here. Now we were getting some damage on that guy. Okay, tricky turn, but I think we navigated that floor well. Over here, yeah, I think we just play like all these guys, skip out on the Crushing Demise because killing one of these doesn't really help that much. This is our 34 times 2 guy, which is actually pretty great. So he'll get to immediately slaughter the tank, and that means the thug can actually score a kill. Some cash, and this guy might as well. Well, the thug is actually surviving, and you wouldn't. How important is it to kill an extra one of these? I don't think it's actually that important, so I'd rather preserve the health of the thug. We've got a million morsels we can't do anything with. And again, with this guy having 14 attack, we want to hit the pyre as little as possible. Fortunately, this is as little as possible. We can't reduce it any further. This floor is doing great thanks to stealth. This guy's not dying, and I think I'm okay with that because he'll eliminate another tank. And we got this one, which we don't currently have room for, and that's a little bit of a problem. Because I would like to play him again, get that buff. But it's not something we can do. I have to figure out if I want to play some plinks. I think I do. I think I want to play plinks here. This is fine. Jump a drag in the front. Keep stealthing up this floor. Yeah, we really need more room to play all these things. This isn't... Our deck is filling up with morsels, which is just not helpful. Let's see. Alright, we're not getting any of these back, so I think I'll be looking to put the stealth down here, make sure this guy can get some damage done on the boss. You're not really a concern to me. Dripping up doesn't really do anything. Probably get more stealth as well. Play a Burnout 3 unit, maybe. I will play Damage Shield Morsel, I think. What I think I might do here is just play this dropping down. Not bother with the second one. And this is, of course, the stealth boss. But our top floor should be able to handle the boss. I'm not so worried about that. We did get our Bounty Stalker back. I think if we get him here, we'll even get him back one more time. So that's pretty nice. We can extend this floor and play some other stuff. That's just fine. Entrapment. Could play if we felt like it. It doesn't do anything. None of these cards really do anything, so pass. Just watching demolish us there. We're actually doing a lot of damage here. Wow, it's surprising to me. We got the Wickless Tycoon back. That's cool. I suppose I could play it. Just in the back and make a maximum amount of money. Why heck not. Yeah, sure, I'll put you just in the front. Sure. Try to maximize cash. Yeah, I don't think anything else does a whole lot for us. Alright, made it through that one. Took some damage again. Not doing fantastic, but we can take a second Mortal Entrapment. I feel like the first one's already pretty tricky, so not gonna do that one. Too late for Subsuming Blade, and we don't really care about stealth that much. Excavation Eruption, I probably will pick up. That's finally a way to maybe hit some stuff. It's not in the front. A little bit of RNG, obviously, but it can help us get there. So once again, I would like Pyre health, but I think the Merchant of Steel might help us more in the long run. These guys are getting pretty big. It's good. Would like to give them more multi-strike or whatever. And then, yeah, making some of our support units actually do something would help quite a bit. So let's see here. Another large stone. Okay, a strength and a burnout. And these burnout stones are really hurting us here. Don't think I can large anything else. We just don't have the room. Nor the need, really. I will give 10 attack to someone here. Maybe just the morsel maker. The thug is a little bit tempting, but I don't actually know that we'll have room for him. Okay, we got the other multi-strike, that's big. I think it's all our money, but both those guys having multi-strike will make them really excellent. Okay, this is actually very good for us. I was thinking about picking up capacity from this boss anyway, so we can pick up the hammer and just kind of get that for free, or we can try for the +3 on a random floor. If it's the top, then I guess that's still fine. It's a little bit awkward, but we can maybe fit a DPS behind there or whatever. But when it's one of the other two floors, we make an 8th floor. We're able to play our Rector, our Paraffin Thug, and our Tycoon all on the same floor, and then continue to supply units in the front, and then the bottom floor can have some stuff to just die. So I think I'm a big fan of the +3, and that kind of reactivates our Crushing Demises. Yeah, I think that's better than just going for +1. And that maybe means we can pick up energy from the boss instead of picking up capacity. So overall, pretty good circle there. We just have to hope that we can get through this boss without taking too much damage on our pyre. Alright, moment of truth. Okay. Got one of the more awkward combinations where it is the top and it did the add and reduce all on the same floor. So, okay. We did get our big boy stalker here. That part's nice. But I think we'll have to kind of stick with the usual setup and just maybe put something back behind the Crucible Collector. Maybe we can fit the Paraffin Thug back there. For now, we'll do the usual. This guy cleans this up right away, which is great. Does this work? When we play, that would ascend. Okay, so I don't actually have to move him to get the extra days. which is cool. Train Steward, we still don't want you to even die, you're so useless. This I'm happy to put in the front. And then I'm gonna hold on to these morsels for now, I think. And I might as well daze 3 that guy. Okay, we got Eruption, that's pretty helpful, hopefully. We're gonna have to just sort of hope it doesn't miss here. If it misses entirely, that's very bad. If it hits one of them, we're back up to 3 energy and we're fine. But I do think we have to try at least. Okay, that's good news. We'll get our other bounty stalker rolling, which will kill that. So we're in pretty good shape in that department. Let's see, I can play you up here. And might as well block for you. Give you some food. Link's not doing much, as usual. Unfortunately, we might have been too slow. This guy is going to take like 4 hits to kill, which means I think we're dead here. Just didn't draw our cards quite in the right order. So that's kind of unfortunate. I thought we were actually sort of turning this around, but just not quick enough in getting through the statues, and again, we just have no way of dealing with them back. Yeah, I think a single Entumbra Assault would have really changed this run. Just being able to kill one of these guys would go such a long way. But unfortunately, this guy is going to advance, and that is going to be the end of our pyre, so that is the end of this run. Let's hope we can do a bit better next time. Alright, thank you for watching, and we'll be back with more.